you want some candy?
My hands tremble as I scribble these words. I'm holed up in my towel closet. I dialed the cops, but I doubt they'll make it in time. Christmas Eve and emergency calls don't mesh, right? They'll probably brush this off as a prank by some bored teen ruining someone's holiday. Who'd believe my tale anyway? Let me rewind and set the scene. I reside solo, miles from family. Regretting my inability to visit them this year weighs heavy. Financial woes plague me, battling to pay off student loans. This marks my debut living independently. I've settled in a cabin lost in the wilds of Wisconsin. Just a convenience store and a bar around. It's cozy, rent's a steal, so no complaints. One bed, one bath, and a cramped kitchen off the living room, complete with a snug fireplace to ward off the chill. Now that you've got the picture, I've got a tale to tell, however few may believe it. I didn't plan grand festivities for the holidays. Homebound, TV, maybe a frozen pizza. No lavish dinners or guests, just an ordinary night. That's precisely what it was. Lounging on the couch, pizza in hand, I drifted watching Christmas movies. Around 11:45, a knock disturbed me. Dark, snow-filled, typical for this season. No visitors, and I couldn't discern the figure at the door, so I glanced through the small window in the living room. Frost veiled the glass, obscuring the visitor. My gut screamed to steer clear before I even budged. Heavy snow made it hard to see beyond 6 feet. Trusting my gut, I retreated to my room. Guilt brewed for leaving someone in that icy mess. But as the notion crossed my mind, the knocking grew louder. I covered my ears, facing away, yet it intensified. Bang, bang, bang. My gut proved right. Bang, bang, bang. Opening the door was a bad idea. Bang, bang, bang. I couldn't let this persist. I sighed deeply, reluctantly shuffling to the door. I cracked it open, greeted by the biting cold. Hello? I peered through the gap. Hi, the person started. Facial features emerged, a young woman. My car broke down, and this seemed like a safe haven. That raised a red flag. A store and bar were close by. Why seek help at a random house? I'm nice, but holidays don't make me charitable. Sleep interruptions don't sit well either. I hesitated. Her demeanor felt off. I can give you a towing company's number. There's an inn a few miles away. They can assist. She seemed unsatisfied. Are you sure? She probed. It's freezing and I don't know when they'll arrive. Paranoia grew in her eyes, unnerving me. Listen, my place is a mess, and it's late. Sorry, but I'm not comfortable with strangers at home, even on the holidays. Instant regret hit, her fear twisted into anger. She went hysterical, pounding my door, desperate to force her way in. Polite words turned to screams. Let me in! Let me in! Jane Doe battered my door. It felt on the verge of breaking. What do you do in this scenario? On impulse, I locked up and called the authorities about this frantic woman. I assumed she'd given up and left. I settled in front of the TV, pondering her distress. No family? Trauma? None of my guesses fit. Just as I thought, a faint sound echoed. A snow shuffle. I peeked outside. Dim streetlights revealed her in the yard, drawing something in the snow. It was 1 a.m. unfamiliar symbols, a pentagram at the center. When she finished, she stared directly at me. Her gaze chilled me. Her mouth contorted unnaturally. A scream pierced the air. What do I do? I called the cops again. Now what? Alone in a foreboding house. A psycho lady outside. Cops probably out for drinks. I sighed audibly, sitting with my back against the couch. Not the ideal Christmas. I freshened up, prepping for bed. Hope was fading. After brushing up, a knock came, followed by a different scream. Deep, unlike hers. I peeked outside. Red and blue lights indicated help, but something was off. Police, mangled bodies on an altar-like setting. I hid. Now I'm here. In my towel closet. 2 bodies outside, something inhuman lurking. When will it get in? I picked the worst hiding spot. I feel like the idiot friend in a horror flick, doomed first. Please, if you read this, stay safe this season. Don't reveal yourself. Don't be like me. Save yourself and your kin. Something's down the chimney. Not Santa. It's inside.
Three years prior to my birth, my parents welcomed their first child into the world. Sadly, his life spanned a mere 7 minutes before he ceased breathing. The cause of his sudden cessation was never a subject of my inquiry. A bit over a year following this heartbreaking loss, my parents had a daughter. And then, 2 years subsequent to her arrival, I came into existence. Naturally, my parents saw no cause to mention my older brother during my formative years. As we all grew older, the story remained veiled, presumably due to the pain it held. If certain events hadn't unfolded, I might have never learned about him. During early December in my junior year of high school, our family gathered around the Christmas tree to adorn it with ornaments collected over the years. Our family had expanded since my birth. My parents had welcomed another son and daughter. Each year they purchased an ornament for each of us, adding to the collection acquired before our births. It was always a challenge to fit all the ornaments onto the tree, and this year was no exception. After arranging them meticulously, we also set up a lovely manger set under the tree, complete with the entire nativity scene and a wooden crib holding the baby Jesus figurine. Admiring our work, we dispersed to resume our activities. A day after setting up the tree, I discovered my firstborn son ornament on the floor. Despite its sentimental value and cloudy appearance from years of use, I rehung it in its spot. The next day, it was on the ground again. Attempting to secure it on a different branch proved futile, as it once more found its way to the floor. Placing it back on the tree, I was surprised to find it missing from its spot the following day, only to discover it resting on the coffee table nearby. Assuming my mother had encountered the same issue, I asked her about it in the kitchen. While doing the dishes, she confessed to picking up the ornament each time she entered the room. Over the next few days, the ornament continued to be displaced from the tree, but its new location was peculiar. Inside the roofed manger, leaning against the crib, with the Jesus figure. As a young person raised in a semi-religious household, the sight stirred odd thoughts of impending evil. To my relief, nothing ominous befell me. But my dad, the pragmatic man who dismissed anything paranormal, experienced something peculiar. He often worked in his basement office until the early hours, usually dozing in his chair. On the morning of December 23rd around 2 a.m., he was startled awake by footsteps above him on the first floor. Curious, he ascended the basement stairs, following the sounds through the house. However, each time he arrived in a room, the footsteps had moved on. Eventually, in the living room, he found 2 objects on the ground, baby Jesus and the firstborn son ornament lying beside it. The next day at breakfast, my dad recounted the events. Sensing my unease, my parents decided it was time to reveal a secret they had kept for 16 years. They spoke of their joy at the pregnancy, the anticipation during the 9 months carrying my brother, and the devastation when he passed away. They explained that the pain lingered, especially during the holidays, revealing the poignant truth. My brother had been born and passed away on December 23rd at 2 a.m. The previous night had marked the 20th anniversary of his passing.